Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Villain. Opening with the female lead sacrificing to heaven, bellied+Big villain+Heartless and ruthless+decisive killing, even the female lead is killed, plus Holy Mother's careful entry, a false villain who always acts like a mother. In law, looking ahead and back, but only pretending to be the villain and engaging in the protagonist's activities. The true villain, decisive in killing and using all means to achieve their goals. The protagonist of Chuanshu Zhanshan became the first villain in the East China Sea, the wealthy second generation. At the beginning, she was tricked by the silly sweet white sister, who conspired with the son of Qi Yun, Chu Fan, to kill her parents and seize the family property, and was also kicked out of the house. There is such a white-eyed wolf sister, interrupt her hands and feet, let her go beg for food. What, Chu Fan, the son of Qi Yun, is accompanied by wealthy heirs, police officers, underground queens, and the CEO of Iceberg. Then let them go and bury Chu Fan together. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Don't want to be a crushed object. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Parallel World, Donghai City, Chao Family Villa. I actually became the villainous rich second generation in God of War Returns. Chao Leixiao stood quietly in front of the windowsill, quietly enjoying the scenery outside the huge French window. Burning eyebrows, anxious in front of him, Chao Leixiao had no intention of enjoying the beautiful scenery. That pair of dark and profound eyes revealed an indescribable complexity. Shockwave, confusion, fear, or a mixture of sadness and joy. The book, The Return of the God of War, emphasizes mindlessness and how to get what you want. The protagonist Chu Fan is the first power in the foreign dark world, the master of the underworld hall, known as the Prince of the Underworld. His Highness Yuming governs the 4 major protectors, the 20.8 constellations, each of which is an extremely terrifying existence, with countless blood stained in his hands. Chu Fan returned to Donghai City, almost invincible, crushing everything. All kinds of pretentious slapping and wild collection of various beauties. What kind of silly and sweet wealthy heiress, neighbor lady, Iceberg female CEO, and so on. How refreshing it is. It's amazing. To be honest, in his past life, Chao Leixiao seemed to blend in with this type of war god text and enjoy it together when he saw it. Now, I have become the villainous young master in the book and the object of being forced to fight by Chu Fan. How exciting it was back then, how speechless it is now. Damn dog author, when I saw reader's satisfaction, you wrote whatever you wanted, not even the most basic logic. I'm at least the same. The grand young master of the Lei family, you wrote me a protagonist drama about my parents' sacrifice to heaven as soon as I appeared, that's all. Surprisingly, he even arranged for a brainless and sweet little sister to help Chu Fan, an outsider, harm his family, and seize the centennial foundation of the Chao family. Not bad, Chao Leixiao is the biggest villain in the book. He also has a silly and sweet younger sister, Chao Mengyue, who has a love brain and does things without thinking through it. She is swayed by Chu Fan and kept spinning around. In order to help Chu Fan take over the family business of the Lei family, Chao Mengyue, this fool, first killed her biological parents, and then prepared to sweep her brother out of the house and hand over the 100-year foundation of the Lei family to Chu Fan. Chao Leixiao, in order to deal with Chu Fan, repeatedly planned to assassinate him, but he was easily dodged by Chu Fan. Waiting for him was another blow. In the end, under the cheers and cheers of Chu Fan and Chao Mengyue, only Chao Leixiao, who had been cleaned up in one breath, was mercilessly ordered by Chu Fan to be thrown into the crusher, watching helplessly as the crusher crushed his own body, leaving no bones. When Chao Leixiao saw this scene, he applauded and shouted, "Finally, this villain from a wealthy family has been crushed. As for now, unless he's late at night and wants to taste the flavor of a grinder. If you want to change your destiny against the heavens, you must find a way to take action first and eliminate Chu Fan." The idea is simple, it's impossible to do it at all. Not to mention that Chu Fan is the son of luck, turning misfortune into good fortune and bringing good fortune to death. The villain disregards the protagonist's luck, even if he jumps off a cliff, waiting for him may be a great wealth. Just talking about Chu Fan's strength, grabbing a white blade with one hand, and avoiding bullets are all minor matters. The assassin of the underworld palace is like a cloud, and even the spitting stars can drown Chao Lei Xiao. No, I absolutely cannot follow the footsteps of the original owner. The fate of the Crusher will not fall on me. Even if I die, I, Chao Lei Xiao, will remain upright and compete with the son of Qi Yun. Chao Lei's angry eyes widened wide, with a strong coldness and madness in his eyes. Since the heavens have listed him and Chu Fan as enemies who never give up or die. To make Chu Fan step on Chao Lei Xiao's head and treat himself as a stepping stone, I am not as willing as it is. Heaven will destroy me, I will go against the heavens. With his familiarity with the plot of the original work, he also has the possibility of turning it upside down. Suddenly, there was a ding sound in my mind. The host dares to draw a sword towards the son of Qi Yun and fight against him, activating the major antagonist system. Ding! The big villain system has been successfully activated and bound to the host. Chao Lei was overjoyed in his heart. The world is vast, the system is the largest. With the system by your side, just the son of luck, what is it? The host is the biggest villain in this world. By defeating the son of Qi Yun in this world, seizing the opportunity of Qi Yun's son, and killing the people related to Qi Yun's son, one can obtain certain villain points and achieve the path of invincible major villains. This system does not have any mandatory tasks, and the host can freely perform them. The host is bound to a major villain system, which comes with a major villain aura. Ignoring the protagonist's aura, killing the protagonist will not result in punishment from the heavens. Is there any antagonistic point in casually playing and killing the son of Qi Yun and those related to him? And you can easily kill the protagonist without saying anything. The first second you want to kill the protagonist, the second you see a sky thunder, which will destroy you. It's quite exciting to think about. Bullying men and women, doing all sorts of bad things, the more you resist me, the more satisfying it is. I find it interesting to think about it. Since you have become the villain of the protagonist of the God of War, then the villain is still good. What's the role of the villain point in the system? Chao Lei said in the Xiaogo channel. The villain point is the pass of this system, which can be exchanged for martial arts, elixirs, characters, weapons, and golden fingers in the system mall, and can also be used for lucky draws. The system binds to the host for the first time and rewards 2 advanced lucky draws. Does the host use it? Use it immediately. Chao Lei Xiao agreed without hesitation. As the words fell, a huge disc floated into Chao Lei Xiao's mind. After the disc rotates rapidly, the pointer stops on the box shaped like a pill. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heaven-Seizing Creation and Transformation Pill. The Heaven and Earth Creation Pill can help the host cleanse the meridians and marrow, enhance strength, and the specific amount of improvement depends on the host's qualifications. Looking at the pill that suddenly appeared in his hand, Chao Lei Xiao smiled. With such precious pills, one can also become a warrior and have the capital to confront Chu Fan. System, give me another lottery. The first time I brought myself the Heaven-Seizing Creation Pill, I believe this time, I will not disappoint myself. The circular pointer continued to rotate rapidly and eventually stopped on the character. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Blood Knife Monk in the middle stage of the transformation realm. The Blood Knife Monk is a true villain who has committed all kinds of crimes throughout his life, killing people like a horse, and is bound to a destined relationship with his host, always serving his life. The Blood Knife Monk will appear next to the host within an hour. Blood Knife Monk. Do you commit all kinds of crimes and kill people like a horse? You came at the right time. As a major villain, there are many shady activities that require such a person to take care of for oneself. Looking at the heaven-seizing creation pill in his hand, without hesitation, he swallowed it directly. Moment a warm current swept through Chao Leixiao's body, filling him with strength. Like the legendary practice of washing scriptures and cutting marrow, there are many black substances on the body. It smells bad enough. Chao Leixiao immediately went to the bathroom and happily took a hot bath. Chapter 2. Silly White Sweet Sister Kills to the End. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Is it in the later stage of energy transformation? I want to see how powerful it is. Chao Leixiao fixed his gaze on the bathroom wall, exerted his internal strength, and suddenly punched out. The imagined situation of one's own overestimated flesh palm being smashed with blood flowing out and shouting loudly did not occur. Instead, the wall was smashed and a spider web crack appeared. Is this the power of the later stage of energy transformation? It really didn't disappoint me. According to the plot, it seems that Chu Fan has not yet broken through the realm. Of course, even at the peak of dark energy, it is enough to make its feet trample on everything and sweep across the city. Now, who steps on who is still an unknown number? Bang! A loud bang rang out, and the door was mercilessly kicked open. A young girl of about 17 or 18 years old, with a pure appearance and fair and beautiful skin, burst into Chao Leixiao's room in a dignified manner. Looking at the arrogant aura between the girl's eyebrows, it is not difficult to see what kind of person the girl is usually. Especially now, coming uninvited and flying out the door. Fortunately, Chao Leixiao had just taken a shower and put on his clothes. Otherwise, being exposed by them will result in a lack of innocence. Miss Chao, why do you want to come to me instead of looking for your lover Chu Fan? Chao Leixiao's joy of gaining the system and enhancing his strength disappeared into the air. Sitting on the sofa like this, crossing his legs and looking disgusted. This is his cheap and good sister Chao Mengyue from Chao Leixiao. The biggest fool in the original work, Sweet White, only glanced at Chu Fan and then fell in love with him wholeheartedly. He even swore not to marry unless it was Chu Fan. Not only does she not want fame, even if she is a mistress for Chu Fan, or even a pet for the other party, as long as she can follow Chu Fan's side, she can do anything. In order to help Chu Fan and obtain the property of the Chao family, he became even more insane and killed the parents who gave birth to her and raised her. What are you talking about? Love is paramount. Chao Leixiao didn't even know what kind of author could create such a persona. Foolish sweetness is not enough to lose reason. Killing parents is unacceptable. When Chao Menyue's parents died, the entire Chao family only had one stumbling block like herself. Her purpose in coming here is to drive her own brother out of the Chao family. Chao Menyue sat directly on the opposite sofa, not even looking at her own brother with a straight eye, and said coldly. I won't say much more nonsense. I'm here to tell you, pack your things and move out of the Chao family before tonight. I don't want to make things difficult for you in a sibling fight. I will show mercy and reward you with a bite, so as not to let you beg for food. As for the property of my Chao family, don't worry about it, you black sheep. Chao Menyue had a proud and stubborn head on her face, as if she was not talking to her own brother, but rather giving Chao Leixiao a reward. No matter whether Chao Leixiao agrees or has any grievances in his heart, no one can stop him from taking control of the Chao family. Anyone who dares to stop her and gives the Chao family to their brother Chu Fan. Even her biological parents, Chao Menyue, are not soft-hearted. As soon as my parents left, you were ready to kick me out of the house. I am the only heir of the Chao family. If you kick me out, as a daughter of your family, do you think the elders in the family and the company elders will let you, a young girl, take power? Upon hearing that Chao Menyue was about to kick herself out, Chao Leixiao laughed instead of getting angry. Shuangwen is Shuangwen, written without using your brain. Chao Menyue, a 17.18-year-old girl who had not yet entered society, wanted to kick herself out as the young master of the Chao family and control the power of the Chao family. In the original work, surprisingly, Chao Mengyue was able to successfully seize the power of the Chao family, and all of it was packaged and handed over to Chu Fan. As for now, does Chao Mengyue match her? You don't have to look at yourself, just a playboy who only knows how to eat, drink, play, and eat to death. If the Chao family were to be handed over to you, you would destroy the hard work of several generations of our Chao family. Chao Mengyue never took Chao Leixiao seriously at all. In front of Chao Leixiao, she belittled him to no avail. Unfortunately, Chao Mengyue did not see it. Under Chao Leixiao's faint smile, a killing intent emerged. What you mean is to hand over the Chao family to you, and you will be able to hold on to the Chao family's business. Defend the Chao family's business. You must have looked too much at me, Chao Mengyue said confidently. The Chao family is in my hands and will only thrive and become the top power of the Dragon Kingdom. Becoming the top power of the Dragon Kingdom. Isn't it the Chao family? Are you using it as a gift to give to that little white-faced Chu Fan? The Chao family that falls into Chu Fan's hands may have to change their name and surname. Chao Leixiao, what do you mean? Keep your mouth clean, Chao Mengyue frowned. Dare to say that my Chu Fan brother is a little white-faced, is this kid living impatiently? Do you really don't understand? The death of your parents must have been orchestrated by you. Chao Lei was too lazy to hide from Chao Mengyue, so he chose to have a direct showdown. This speech sounded like a thunderbolt on the flat ground, shaking Chao Mengyue's face pale. The anxious expression on her face had already completely betrayed Chao Mengyue. Where did this playboy get the news from when he did that thing so discreetly? You went crazy and killed your biological parents in order to help Chu Fan obtain the property of the Chao family. I, Chao Leixiao, surprisingly have someone like you who doesn't recognize me. For the sake of so-called love, he brutally killed his biological parents who had raised him for 10 or 20 years. Such a twisted brain circuit, I'm afraid only a silly and sweet white like Chao Mengyue can come out well. Chao Leixiao's face was full of mockery, and he couldn't help but feel sad for his father and mother. Giving birth to such a brainless beast, I'm afraid they will all be alive and will be infuriated by Chao Mengyue, this fool. Chao Leixiao, don't talk nonsense here and frame trouble. My parents left in a car accident and have nothing to do with me. Although Chao Mengyue was ruthless, she ruthlessly killed her biological parents. At this moment, she is just a little girl who has not experienced social abuse. Being exposed by Chao Leixiao's greatest secret in his heart, he was already completely panicked. Do you think these accidents would have occurred if you hadn't instructed others to tamper with the car and the brakes malfunctioned at critical moments? If we talk about Chao Lei's words earlier, Chao Mengyue can still act as if the other party is unaware and speak nonsense there. Now, Chao Leixiao has revealed all about how he killed his parents, clearly knowing the truth. If this matter is exposed by Chao Lei, he will become a street mouse that everyone shouts and beats, and be criticized by thousands of people. Even his beloved Chu Fan will suffer from the fish in the pond. No, this matter must not be leaked out. Chao Mengyue gritted her teeth and a hint of killing intent flickered in her eyes. Chapter 3. Blood splashing on the ground. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why don't you tell me? Make up a decent reason for my parents' passing. Chao Leixiao sneered disdainfully, that's your biological parents who have raised you for more than 10 years. It's not as good as a little white-faced Chu Fan whom you've known for less than 3 months. Even if they keep a dog for more than 10 years, they have already matured. Now, it's just an immature white-eyed wolf, something even a beast is inferior to. Did I really make a mistake in this matter? Chao Mengyue murmured to herself, and in her mind, she couldn't help but imagine the kindness and care of her parents towards her, treating her like a little princess. At this moment, her heart seemed to feel a hint of guilt for killing her biological parents. Unfortunately, this guilt comes and goes faster. I will never do anything wrong. The two of them insisted on preventing me from being with Brother Chu Fan, and even said that Brother Chu Fan approached me with ill intentions. Dare to insult Brother Chu Fan, these two old guys, this is a worthy death. Chow Mengyue clenched her fists tightly, her eyes filled with resentment towards her parents. Seeing that the other party still had an unrepentant appearance, Chow Leixiao shook his head calmly. Chow Mengyue has been poisoned too deeply and is beyond cure. It is even more difficult to make this rebellious woman admit her mistake than to make the person who has done all the evil abandon it and become good, to make the thief of the stealing family wash his hands with gold, and to make the prostitute who has been a prostitute for 10 generations become good. Chow Leixiao, originally I was still thinking about brotherhood and leaving you with a dog's life. Unfortunately, you know too much. In order for Brother Chu Fan not to be implicated, you only have one way to go. Since you are so filial, why don't you go down and accompany them? When Chow Mengyue uttered these words, there was no trace of emotion in her eyes. For the sake of Chu Fan, she can even get rid of her biological parents, let alone the useless brother in front of her. If you want to kill me, just do it yourself, there's no need to pretend in front of me. But I want to know, you weak woman, what are you doing to kill me? If you want to die, I will fulfill you, Chow Mengyue said coldly, someone here. As the words fell, 6 bodyguards with tiger backs and bare waist appeared behind Chow Mengyue. They bowed respectfully to Chow Mengyue and said, "See you, Miss Air." Chow Mengyue pointed at Chow Leixiao and said, "My elder brother is filial and can't bear his parents to suffer below. He wants to go down and accompany them. Find a burlap bag, pack it out, and bury it in a secluded place. Remember, keep things hidden and don't let others discover. Obey me." These people have long defected to Chow Mengyue and become her henchmen. Even if they were to bury Chow Leixiao, the eldest young master of the Chow family, without any hesitation, the 6 of them surrounded Chow Leixiao. Just a few waists. Chow Lei sneered and said, "Great monk, come and live." As the words fell, a burly monk emerged from somewhere, wielding a blood knife and quickly slashing towards the 6 bodyguards. The 6 bodyguards had no idea what was going on, only feeling a burning pain in their necks. A stream of blood spurted out from the gap, and they dared not fall into the pool of blood. The scattered blood splattered directly towards the direction where Chow Mengyue was, splashing Chow Mengyue's face. Ah! Chow Mengyue was frightened by this bloody scene, and her hands and feet became weak. She stumbled and fell into a pool of blood. When she stumbled and got up from the ground, her whole body and clothes were already covered in blood stains. Her image at this moment is even more terrifying than that of a killer maniac. Looking at the blood stained all over her body, Chow Mengyue was both shocked and angry, almost going crazy with anger. "Damn Chow Leixiao, you've made me so embarrassed, I'll definitely kill you. No, killing you is too cheap for you. I will chop off your fingers and toes one by one and feed them to the dog. Your subordinates have been dealt with, but I would like to know if you have any other moves that can kill me." Chow Leixiao had a sneer on his face, waiting for the other party to play all their cards. "Ling Hu De, come out." Chow Mengyue panicked and shouted loudly towards the door. "Miss Air." An old man with a restrained aura emerged from somewhere and quickly appeared in front of Chow Mengyue. Looking at the familiar face, a dark smile appeared at the corner of Chow Lei's mouth. The old man was Chow's father's driver and bodyguard, who was in the early stage of the dark power realm and also the person Chow's father trusted the most. It is said that more than 20 years ago, Ling Hu De committed a crime and was chased. It was Chow Fu who intervened to save him. Ling Hu De stayed at the Chow family to repay his kindness and worked hard for his father. Unfortunately, like Chow Mengyue, Ling Hu De is also a white-eyed wolf who repays kindness with revenge, and was actually bought by Chow Mengyue. It was precisely the order from Chow Mengyue that Ling Hu De tampered with Chow's father's car, which led to the death of Chow's father and mother. Now, Chow Mengyue dares to be so arrogant in front of Chow Leixiao, the legitimate heir of the Chow family. It's all because she accepted Ling Huda's help. Ling Huda, slaughter this waste for me. Chao Mengyue was furious and completely disregarded her own image. Good Ling Huda agreed and turned his head to look at Chao Leixiao, revealing a complex emotion. He served the Chao family for over 20 years, and it can be said that he watched Chao Lei grow up. He has already helped Chao Mengyue and killed Chao's father and mother, and does not want to harm this young master of the Chao family. Unfortunately, he has already defected to Chao Mengyue and done unforgivable things, with only one path leading to darkness. Young master, I watched you grow up, and I really don't want to kill you. But don't worry, I will take action quickly and won't make you feel any pain. Ling Huda's eyes showed a hint of reluctance, and in the blink of an eye, his face was filled with a murderous aura. With a joyful expression. Let's wait until you calm down this great monk first. Chao Lei pointed to the blood knife monk next to him. The blood knife monk carried the blood knife, which was flowing with blood, on his shoulder, as if looking at a dead person, with no expression on his face. Although this great monk is powerful, he still has some shortcomings in front of the Dark Power Master. Ling Huda glanced at the blood knife monk, who was ferocious and emitting a strong killing intent. He must have killed many people. This kind of person is somewhat similar to mercenaries. In front of the Dark Power Masters, mercenaries are just a child's play. This world is all about martial arts, divided into 5 major realms. Ming Jin, Darken Jin, Hua Jin, Bao Dan, and Jin Dan. Each major realm is further divided into 4 sub-realms. Early, Middle, Late, and Peak. The average Special Forces king only has the realm of Ming Jin, and the entire East China Sea cannot find a few hidden energies. As for the existence of Hua Jin, it is very rare. As Ling Huda in the early days of dark energy, he indeed had the capital to be arrogant. You're quite arrogant. Chao Leixiao smiled calmly and said coldly, kill. Chapter 4. Breaking her legs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Huda, don't waste your time. Kill him for me. Chao Mengyue furrowed her brows and shouted for orders. Young master, I have offended you. Die for me. Ling Huda moved. As fast as lightning, he appeared in front of Chao Leixiao in the next moment, using his eagle claw technique to twist his neck. The next moment a pig-like scream rang out. Ling Huda lay on the ground, howling in sorrow, with blood continuously gushing out from his severed arm. A bloody arm was just being played with by the blood knife monk. Dare to extend your claws to the young master, it's useless to keep your claws. After speaking, the blood knife monk casually threw his bloody arm out of the window. The big yellow dog outside the window, when it saw the bloody arm, its eyes lit up and it quickly took it away, hiding in a corner to gnaw on a bone. This sudden scene, in an instant, Ling Huda's arm was chopped by the blood knife monk. Not to mention that Chao Mengyue didn't see it clearly. Ling Huda, this Dark Power Master, also doesn't know how his arm was lost. Chao Mengyue was dumbfounded. Just now, I vowed to kill this cheap brother. The next moment, her greatest reliance was on Ling Huda, and surprisingly, someone had disabled one of her arms. The situation is changing so quickly that Chao Mengyue's brain with a negative IQ is not enough at all. She reacted and just wanted to escape. Chao Leixiao casually threw a teacup, which was impartial, and hit Chao Mengyue's right foot. The intense pain made Chao Mengyue's right foot struggle and she knelt down with a thud. The scorching hot water spilled all over Chao Mengyue's legs, causing her to scream in pain. Damn Chao Leixiao, you're actually scalding me with hot water. Wait for me, my brother Chu Fan will definitely break your body into pieces once he finds out. Chao Mengyue, who had not yet recognized the situation, shouted wildly and attempted to remove her Chu Fan brother to threaten Chao Leixiao. The barking sound of the dog made Chao Leixiao restless, waving his hand and saying, the dog can't spit out ivory from its mouth. Open your mouth for me. Pop. Pop. Blood Knife Monk doesn't know what it means to cherish fragrance and jade. A few slaps slapped Chao Mengyue, causing her once delicate cheeks to turn red and swollen. Even 2 front teeth were knocked out. In the future, I'm afraid there may be leaks when speaking. The effect is quite obvious. Chao Mengyue dared not continue barking, but could only stare at Chao Leixiao with her congested eyes, gritting her teeth in her heart, with a kind of resentment towards breaking Chao Leixiao into pieces. Chao Leixiao didn't take it seriously. If someone looked at him, he wouldn't lose a piece of meat. The best way to deal with this kind of love brain, silly sweet white, and white-eyed wolf is to kill him with one knife. This way, it may be too cheap for this white-eyed wolf. Chao Leixiao, who advocates love as the top priority, wants to completely shatter the other party's view of love and make her fall in love and kill the dog man and woman Chu Fan. Chao Mengyue, for the sake of your pitiful love, you actually killed your biological parents. I really want to know what's inside your head and how you can do such a shameful thing as being inferior to a beast. Chao Mengyue didn't feel at all that there were any problems with her actions, but instead continued to arrogantly say, for the sake of brother Chu Fan, I can do anything. Anyone who dares to stop me from being with brother Chu Fan will only have a dead end. Something that never repents. Chao Leixiao had a cold smile on his face. Chao Mengyue is already hopelessly foolish. Chao Leixiao, I warn you, hurry up and let me go, otherwise my brother Chu Fan knows that he won't let you go. I can let you go this time, but you must honestly give up the inheritance rights of the Chao family's property. Chao Lei squatted down and patted Chao Mengyue. Chao's father and mother were killed too suddenly by Chao Mengyue, a ruthless person, which resulted in them not leaving a will at all. As the second miss of the Chao family, Chao Mengyue can naturally inherit a portion of her property. Of course, even if it is the heir of the Chao family, Chao Leixiao does not allow anyone to take away anything that belongs to him. Chao Leixiao can also directly kill Chao Mengyue, and it's all for one. Killing without going too far is a foolish thing that Chao Leixiao naturally wouldn't do. Because it's too obvious. Chao's father and mother suddenly died, and Chao Mengyue also died suddenly. It is inevitable that some kind-hearted people will cast a skeptical gaze on Chao Leixiao. Chu Fan has already established a certain status in the East China Sea and has gained a lot of connections. If he were to write an article on this matter and dump the blame on himself, wouldn't it be a big trouble? The most perfect solution is to have Chao Mengyue give up her inheritance right directly. As for whether the other party is willing or not, it doesn't matter at all. Impossible, I am the eldest lady of the Chao family. Even if I can't seize all the property of the Chao family, at least half of it belongs to me. Chao Mengyue didn't even think about it and refused directly. The market value of Chao's family is in the hundreds of billions, and Chu Fan's help is really too great. She will definitely not give up. Do you disagree? Do you think I'm discussing with you? Chao Leixiao's face was speechless. This cheap younger sister is just a fool with a love brain. For the sake of Chu Fan, she can do all the immoral things, and even more so, she thinks that with Chu Fan, she can act recklessly. I completely cannot recognize the situation. Don't you like to kneel and lick Chu Fan? Then kneel down. Break her leg. As the words fell, the blood knife monk did not hesitate and fiercely stepped on Chao Mengyue's leg. With a powerful internal force, he directly crushed all the bones on Chao Mengyue's thigh. Ah! The intense pain caused Chao Mengyue to make a pig-like scream. Chao Mengyue, who had never suffered any hardship, was almost pained to death. Ding! The host caused the female protagonist Chao Mengyue's leg to be broken. The host's behavior conforms to the villainous behavior, and the host gains 3,000 villainous points. A system prompt sound rang in Chao Leixiao's mind. Break Chao Mengyue's leg and receive 3,000 villain points as a reward. Chao Leixiao was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that Chao Mengyue was not completely useless, at least this leg was quite valuable. System: if I cut off all 4 limbs of Chao Mengyue, will there be 4 villain point rewards? Chao Lei Xiao had a faint smile on his lips, as if he had thought of a villain ordering an ATM. The host should not daydream anymore. This system strictly prohibits BG cards. If the host harms the female protagonist Chao Mengyue's body, they can only receive a reward once. In the future, if their body is severely damaged again, they will not continue to receive rewards. Originally, it was a one-time reward. The physical body is only destroyed once. It seems that there is still a spirit that can be destroyed. In the plot of Chu Fan, the son of Qi Yun, it seems that there is more than just Chao Mengyue as the female lead. It seems that the heavens are all giving themselves villain points. Chapter 5. Sister, sweeping out the door. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Young master, Miss Eyre is at least your own sister. How could you be so cruel? Seeing this scene, Ling Huda showed a hint of unbearable resentment towards Chao Lei Xiao. Cruel. Chao Lei Xiao sneered incessantly. Compared to this white-eyed wolf who killed his biological parents, I feel very kind. For a wild man who has known him for 1 or 2 months, he even had the heart to kill his parents. Like this kind of white-eyed wolf, even if thrown out to feed the dog will despise her meaty smell. Chao Lei Xiao, who had just crossed over, had no sibling affection for Chao Mengyue. Being kind to the enemy is being cruel to oneself. This is the principle that Chao Lei Xiao has always adhered to. When it comes to treating someone who wants to kill himself, not to mention breaking their leg, even if he kills her, Chao Lei Xiao will not show any mercy. However, sometimes keeping the other person is actually more painful than killing her directly. Linghu Danu pouted, speechless. I'm not wrong. I've already said that I want to be with brother Chu Fan. Those 2 damn guys not only stopped us, but also kept talking bad about brother Chu Fan. When it comes to Chu Fan's affairs, Chao Mengyue feels like she's doing it again. They're just talking nonsense. I told them to take out 50 billion yuan to rescue brother Chu Fan. In no time, brother Chu Fan will return the capital and interest to them. 2 stingy people not only don't borrow money, but also curse me for being sick. They are seeking their own death. Chao Lei Xiao no longer knows what to say. He knew that Chao Mengyue was an idiot and a love brain. I didn't expect the other party's IQ to be negative by 10,000. What is the concept of 50 billion yuan in funding? The Chao family has accumulated over a century, with a market value of hundreds of billions, and with 50 billion yuan of assets, they are all cutting flesh. Not to mention that the Chao family cannot provide 50 billion yuan in funds. The working capital of several major families in the East China Sea combined does not reach 50 billion yuan. Even if there is one, why lend it to a stranger just because of one word from you? No wonder Chao's father said she was sick. It was simply a serious illness, in the late stage of mental illness. Chao Lei Xiao, you actually broke one of my legs. Wait for me, brother Chu Fan will definitely avenge me. When the time comes, he will peel off your skin and bones, shatter your body into countless pieces. Chao Mengyue stared at Chao Lei Xiao with a hateful gaze. At this moment, she wished to devour Chao Lei Xiao alive. Stubborn and inflexible. Blood Knife Monk, chopped off one of her arms. As Chao Lei's words fell, a cold light flashed and his big arm flew into mid-air. Ah! Intense pain, the painful Chao Mengyue rolled on the ground, and a cold sweat flowed down her forehead. Chao Mengyue, with pale cheeks, lay on the ground, already on the brink of death. Did you give up inheriting the Chao family's property yourself, or did I chop off all your limbs? Chao Lei's words were cold and devoid of any emotion. Chao Mengyue finally became afraid. She knew that Chao Lei Xiao was not joking with herself. Continue to resist, for fear of being cut into swine by the person who doesn't recognize his 6 relatives. I am willing to. I am willing to give up all the assets of the Chao family. Chao Mengyue, who was powerless, had to make such a decision in order to save her life. Chao Leixiao made a direct phone call and ordered his confidant Wei to find someone to draft a contract. Not long after, Wei appeared in front of him with the contract. After a brief inspection, Chao Lei threw the contract in front of Chao Mengyue. "Don't waste my time, sign your name and get out of the Chao family." I'll sign." Chao Mengyue endured the pain and climbed up step by step, nervously signing her name on the contract. The killing intent in my eyes shattered, and my teeth were itching with hatred. "After I find Brother Chu Fan, I will definitely ask him to tidy up this beast well. He wants Brother Chu Fan to break the opponent's 5 limbs. Ding. The host forced the female protagonist Chao Mengyue to sign an agreement to abandon the Chao family's property and drove her out of the Chao family. The host's behavior is in line with villainous behavior, and the host gains 5,000 villainous points. Watching the other party sign, Chao Leixiao nodded in satisfaction. The contract under such coercion seems to have little effect, and Chao Leixiao's pretext and reputation are enough. The most important thing is that this ATM has also brought itself a villainous point. I have complied with your request, I can leave now. Get lost." Chao Leixiao's face showed a faint smile. It must be even more interesting to keep this fool and let her cause trouble for Chu Fan. Chu Fan is the kind of person who is selfish and self-centered in everything. The reason why he cares about you, this idiot, is entirely because of your identity as the Miss Chao of the Chao family, because you can bring him benefits. Your current appearance of being limp and lacking in hands has been swept out of the house by my young master, and you are a properly bereaved dog. You look down and out, not even a beggar. Do you think your brother Chu Fan will still like you? The current medical skills are so advanced, coupled with Chu Fan being the son of Chi Luck, he may have hidden heavenly and earthly treasures. It's not surprising even if Chao Mengyue's broken arm and leg are cured. Can Chu Fan know? The female protagonist of Dragon King 1 is nothing more than 2 types of people, who are very helpful to the son of Chi Yun, have a well-behaved personality, and are likable. Both have a common characteristic of being beautiful like flowers. A foolish and sweet bai who has lost the assets of the Chao family, Chu Fan cannot use natural resources and treasures for the sake of the other party. Shut up. How can you understand my relationship with Brother Chu Fan? No matter what my identity is, no matter what I become, Brother Chu Fan will never leave me, and we will be together. Chao Mengyue gritted her teeth and was furious, staring intently at Chao Leixiao. Chu Fan is her inverse scale, involving Chu Fan's affairs, causing Chao Mengyue's originally owed intelligence to drop directly to the lower limit. Hee hee. I'm looking forward to your love story, which is full of ups and downs. Chao Leixiao sneered. In the original work, after Chu Fan received the property of the Chao family, Chao Mengyue's influence on her gradually weakened, and she was also marginalized by Chu Fan. If it weren't for her beauty, Chu Fan would definitely not have kept such an unattractive vase. As for now, Chao Leixiao is looking forward to the love story between Chao Mengyue and Chu Fan. Chao Leixiao, please wait for me. I will definitely find Brother Chu Fan to avenge me. Chao Mengyue gritted her teeth, limped and slowly crawled out of the Chao family. Chapter 6. Abandoned by the whole world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Outside the Caojia Manor. Chao Mengyue dragged her weak body and had not yet taken a few steps when she collapsed on the roadside due to excessive blood loss. She struggled to pull out her phone and dialed a call. At the moment the phone was connected, a woman's soft moan came from inside. Upon hearing that something was amiss, Chao Mengyue's heart tightened and she quickly asked, "Brother Chu Fan, what sound is this? Is someone by your side?" "No one, it's the sound of me just being bored and scrolling through a short video." In a 5-star hotel, Chu Fan accompanied his little face and let out a soft hiss. The woman below had to reach out and tightly cover her mouth, trying her best not to make any noise. The other party's infinitely shy appearance, with a pair of spring water rippling eyes, revealed a naked seduction. May. Scratch. Such a posture made Chu Fan burn with desire, immediately increasing his horsepower and attacking with all his might. Chao Mengyue had no idea that there were other women around Chu Fan, who were also hanging out together. She went to great lengths to help Chu Fan, giving her heart and soul to him. For the sake of Chu Fan, he killed his biological parents, and now he has been cut off by Chao Leixiao and kicked out of the house. Chu Fan only treated her as a chess piece and an object of intense fire. Mengyue, you're not dealing with the Chao family, why did you suddenly call me? During the exercise, Chu Fan still remembered to whisper softly and greet Chao Mengyue. Brother Chu Fan, help me. Excited, it involved the wound. The intense pain made Chao Mengyue grin and let out a scream. Mengyue, what's wrong with you? What happened? Upon hearing Chao Mengyue's screams, Chu Fan became somewhat anxious. Help me, I can't do it anymore. Hurry up. Come and help me. Chao Mengyue's body is becoming increasingly weak, and she is afraid that she will completely faint in the next moment. What? What's going on, where are you? Hiss. Chu Fan, with an excited expression on his face, took a cold breath as soon as he made a move. This woman is simply a beauty, almost sucking herself dry. As an old driver, I almost lost in the opponent's successive attacks. No, as a man, how can we surrender? We must fight for another 300 rounds. As for Chao Mengyue, it seems that there is still one breath left. It's not too late to go for rescue when Chu Fan finishes his work. Do. A busy sound came, leaving Chao Mengyue completely confused. It seemed that Chu Fan had already hung up the phone. She, feeling extremely anxious, continued to call, but indicated that there is currently no answer. Chu Fan's brother must have encountered an urgent matter, and his clone lacks skills. When he finishes dealing with the matter, he will definitely come over. Yes, brother Chu Fan won't ignore me. It won't be long before he comes to save me. Chao Mengyue tightly gripped her phone and found herself such an excuse. At this moment, she felt like she had been completely abandoned by the whole world. Damn it, my biological parents were interrupted by my brother and kicked out the door. Even my beloved one doesn't know where they are now. Chao Mengyue's eyes were full of confusion, only feeling that her life would never see light again, and she didn't know where to go. As time passed, Chao Mengyue, who had lost too much blood, felt that her consciousness was weakening, as if she was about to leave completely in the next moment. He was completely unaware that two women, one old and one young, were slowly approaching her. The elderly person's face turned pale, with alarming scars on it, which made people shudder. The young woman was disheveled, limping, and her left foot was forcefully discounted. This mother and daughter have such a tragic experience, and all thanks go to Chao Mengyue. They have been guarding outside the courtyard of the Chao family all this time, eagerly waiting for the opportunity. They each held onto a brown glass bottle, which contained a mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. It also has a resounding title. Aqua Regia. It is one of the few liquids that can dissolve gold and is a metal nemesis. Even metals can melt, and if accidentally touched, the bones will be completely carbonized and turned into pitch black. Mom, look quickly, that's Chao Mengyue. The young woman pointed at the fallen Chao Mengyue with an excited expression on her face. It's her. I know her even when she turns into dust, but judging from her appearance, it seems like she's been seriously injured. Regardless of whether she was injured or not, it's a natural cycle and retribution is not good. The young woman gritted her teeth and said, my brother just gave her one more glance, and she found someone to beat her to death. My father went to argue with her, but she also caused her death. We, mother and son, were also disabled by her. Report it back and forth, now it's our turn to seek revenge. The mother and son exchanged a glance, with a look of madness in their eyes. They were filled with excitement, tightly gripping the bottle of aqua regia in their hands, emitting a penetrating smile, and gradually approaching Chao Mengyue. "You two are so ugly, what do you want to do?" Seeing the mother and daughter approaching, Chao Mengyue felt a sense of unease and trembling throughout her body. "Miss Chao, do you have any impression of my mother and daughter?" "Who has an impression of you ugly mother and daughter? Get out of here quickly and don't bother me." Chao Mengyue, who was seriously injured, has not yet transformed from her identity as the eldest lady of the Chao family. Seeing that the mother and daughter were not kind, their eyes were filled with disgust. "Huh, what an ugly mother and daughter pair." The elderly mother sneered, pointing to her heart-wrenching cheek, "I was able to have today thanks to you, Miss Chao. You killed my husband and caused such harm to both of us." The lame woman, with an inexplicable excitement in her eyes, said, "Our mother and daughter have only one goal for the rest of our lives, to seek revenge on you. I didn't expect that even the heavens wouldn't be able to see you as a vicious woman, so we can take revenge with our own hands." Chapter 7. The Itch of 10 Years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chao Mengyue is silly and sweet, but just because she met Chu Fan and her intelligence went down doesn't mean she's really foolish. The fierce and vicious appearance of the mother and daughter came to seek her revenge. Chao Mengyue gritted her teeth and cursed loudly, "A pair of ugly mothers and daughters, get away from me. I am the second miss of the Chao family. If you dare to harm me at all, I will find someone to dismember you in countless pieces. Our mother and daughter have long lived enough and are about to die. Please ask Miss Chao to go to hell with us." The lame woman spoke and directly opened the bottle containing aqua regia, throwing it towards Chao Mengyue's face. The disfigured woman was also unwilling to be outdone. She did not continue to follow her daughter and perform disfigurement on Chao Mengyue. She showed a meaningful smile and poured all the aqua regia from the bottle onto Chao Mengyue's lower body. "Ah! Ah!" Waves of screams echoed from the sky to the earth. Chao Leixiao, who was leisurely watching a play in the courtyard, was also disturbed by the pig-like screams made by Chao Mengyue. "That's aqua regia, even metal can melt, I don't know if your flesh and blood body can handle it." Looking at the tragic situation that had occurred on Chao Mengyue, Chao Leixiao had a faint smile on his lips. In the original work, Chao Mengyue was also attacked. She was just surrounded by a large number of bodyguards for protection, and the mother and daughter were under control before they could get close. Now, Chao Mengyue naturally doesn't have such good luck. Being splashed with aqua regia on the face and lower body, even if one is lucky enough not to die, life is not as good as death. Now, Chu Fan has neither to watch nor to play. Will he still want this inhumane beast? Immediately send someone to send Chao Mengyue to the hospital for rescue, remember not to let anyone die. Chao Leixiao gave a faint smile. People sometimes live, life is better than death. Good. The blood knife monk nodded slightly and immediately brought an ambulance to Chao Mengyue. At this moment, a mobile phone ringtone rang, which was sent by Chao Mengyue from the phone that had fallen to the ground. The blood knife monk called out and looked at it, with a smile on his face that seemed to be half a smile. "Young master, this is what Chu Fan called." Chu Fan. Chao Leixiao's smile intensified. "That's quite interesting." After answering the phone, Chao Leixiao swiped directly to answer. "Mengyue, what exactly happened on your end? Where are you? I'll go find you immediately. I'm not your dream moon. Are you?" Chao Leixiao. "Indeed, it's me. Chao Mengyue failed to seize power and has been deposed by me, which has disappointed you." Upon hearing a surprise on the phone, Chao Leixiao smiled faintly. According to Chu Fan's plan, he used Chao Mengyue to get rid of her parents and also kicked Chao Leixiao out of the house. In this way, Chu Fan was able to seize all the property of the Chao family. Unfortunately, things are not going as planned now. It was Chao Mengyue, the mistress of Chu Fan, who was swept out of the house. What? How dare you harm Mengyue? What have you done to Mengyue? Chu Fan gritted his teeth and spoke with a hint of surprise, but more of anger. Don't worry, she won't die. I had my arm chopped off and my leg broken. By the way, I also had some aqua regia on my body. I think I can be saved. Chao Lei glanced at the ambulance that had already flown away, and his words were plain. Seeking death. Chao Lei Xiao, do you know what you're talking about? You're looking for death. Chao Lei Xiao took his phone aside directly. Without much thought, it was clear that Chu Fan was emitting an incompetent roar. It's just a Chao Mengyue, you're so nervous. Don't worry, I don't like cars that others have come by. You're women, I won't drive them. At most, those who make them lack arms and legs can be good companions with Chao Mengyue. Here, Chao Mengyue has gained many villainous points, and I believe that solving other women in Chu Fan will also yield many benefits. Chu Fan was able to traverse the capital of flowers and land in seconds. In addition to his own strength, the women around him also provided him with a lot of help. Chu Fan had already mastered it, so Chao Lei Xiao was naturally not interested. As for those new cars, they could be driven with great effort. Do you know, kid? You have completely offended me. Heaven has a way for you not to go, hell has no door for you to seek death. When the underworld king is angry, the sky and earth turn pale. No one can remember the woman of the underworld, let alone bear the anger of the underworld. I'm waiting for you to kill me. If you wait for 3 days, I will definitely be destroyed. The word extinguished had not yet been spoken, only a busy sound could be heard. It turned out that Chao Lei Xiao had already hung up the phone. Chu Fan's threat was not taken seriously by Chao Lei Xiao at all. The Underworld Hall is the first power in the Dark World and is renowned abroad. Unfortunately, the Dragon Kingdom is a forbidden area for mercenaries, and the Dragon Group is the nemesis of mercenaries. The people of his Underworld Palace dare to set foot in the Dragon Kingdom on a large scale, and the people of the Dragon Group will destroy them. Chu Fan was able to be carefree and happy in the Dragon Kingdom because he had saved the big shots above and had someone to take care of him. Even so, the bottom line of the other party is to let Chu Fan be at most unrestrained in the Dragon Kingdom. As for wanting to exterminate oneself, Chao Lei Xiao doesn't care at all about the lives of those people in the Chao family. If he dares to knock on the door, he can just kill the other person himself. Chao Lei Xiao smiled calmly and had already figured out how to deal with Chu Fan. The first target of action is Yang Xiaoqiao, the sister of Chu Fan. That is the neighbor sister who grew up with Chu Fan as a childhood sweetheart. She is knowledgeable, reasonable, gentle, and takes good care of Chu Fan. On the other hand, Chu Fan has always been an ignorant thug since childhood, fighting, going to bars, playing with women, and even killing a wealthy young master in order to grab a woman, indirectly killing his mother and his cheap father. It was because of the trouble that I left my hometown and went abroad, where I had the opportunity to become the master of the Underworld Palace and the Underworld King. Yang Xiaoqiao was the goddess of Chu Fan's childhood, dreaming of her and fulfilling her long-standing wish. Unfortunately, Chu Fan, who was forced to leave the Dragon Kingdom, ultimately did not achieve his wish. It has been 10 years since we met again. The itch of 10 years, the person with inner strength and longing. Chapter 8. Licking a Dog Must Die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chao Lei Xiao is working hard to recall the plot. Yang Xiaoqiao is a serious graduate of the Magic City University and serves as a supervisor in a listed company. She is the perfect Baifume. It was because her father was involved in antique trading and was calculated by a group of forces, owing the other party 20 million yuan. Yang Xiaoqiao pieced together 1 million or so pieces of money, and there is still a large amount of money at the 20 million mark. In order to raise money and repay her father's debt, Yang Xiaoqiao had no choice but to go to Charming East and seek the help of her aunt, Yang Yu, the manager of Charming East. Yang Yu was open-minded when she saw the beauty of her niece, who was also a prestigious university student, and suddenly had other thoughts. That's to encourage Yang Xiaoqiao to find a wealthy second generation to take care of, and he has already found a good character for Yang Xiaoqiao. Coincidentally, Chu Fan happened to be soaking up a woman in the Charming East that day. After meeting Chu Fan, he not only prevented Yang Xiaoqiao from getting wet, but also helped him solve this big problem. Now, it's not Chu Fan's turn to do this great play. Ignoring Chu Fan's barking, Chao Lei Xiao returned to the manor with the blood knife monk and brought Ling Huda over. Do you know that this young master is keeping you for any purpose? If you have anything, young master, please let me know. Ling Huda knew that he was already a prisoner and dared not resist anymore. I want you to surrender to the police station now and admit that everything was instructed by Chu Fan. Your goal is to unite with Chao Mengyue and seize the property of our Chao family. Ling Huda looked at Chao Leixiao with a puzzled expression, unsure of what the other party's intentions were. Okay, I know how to speak. Ling Huda lowered his head and still agreed. Admitting that he was instructed to tamper with the car and killed Chao's father and mother. As an accomplice, I can at most have a lifetime of free lunch and at least save my life. I kindly remind you to be obedient and honest. Your grandson can still survive, at least by preserving some of your Linghu family's bloodline. If not, your ancestors and grandchildren will go to the underworld to reunite. What, you? You? Ling Huda was greatly shocked, trembling and pointing at Chao Leixiao, unable to say a word. There are so many things you don't know, just act on them honestly. I understand. Ling Huda lowered his head with a gloomy expression on his face. At this moment, he dare not have any careful thoughts. After Ling Huda and Blood Blade Monk left, only Chao Leixiao remained in the entire hall. As a major villain and the entire Chao family, from now on, I, Chao Lei, will break out of my own name and make those sons of luck tremble when they hear my name. In his past life, he was a 9-to-5 working boy, carrying a mortgage and car loan. He worked for the bank every day, rushing around for 3 meals a day. Even if they are oppressed by their leaders and suffer all kinds of grievances in the company, they dare not speak up, let alone resign. Because of the huge mortgage and car loans, as well as the pressure of life, he couldn't lift his head. But now, the Chao family has all their assets, totaling hundreds of billions, making them the richest person in the entire East China Sea and an unattainable presence. 3 minutes before he was happy, a ringing phone interrupted Chao Leixiao's thoughts. Picking up my phone, I saw a somewhat familiar and annoying name. Chao Leixiao was too lazy to pay attention to the other party and chose to hang up directly. Unfortunately, the other party did not contact Chao Leixiao and vowed not to give up, tirelessly continuing to make calls. Chao Leixiao, what are you doing? Why are you hanging up on my phone? As soon as I got through, a domineering voice came from the end of the phone. Chao Leixiao had long known who the other party was, and it was the goddess Hong Yakin that the original owner had been longing for. Either way, the original owner and Chao Mengyue can be said to be siblings. Chao Mengyue was able to kill her own biological parents for the sake of Chu Fan. Although the original owner was not as foolish, he went to great lengths to please Hong Yakin and gave her a lot of help and benefits. The Hong family was originally engaged in the jewelry business, but it is a third-rate family with a net worth of less than 100 million. With the help of the original owner, the Hong family has flourished and now has a market value of several billion. Unfortunately, after doing so much, even Hong Yakin's little hand has not been touched. Licking the dog until the end, there is nothing left in the end. This is the experience summarized by countless predecessors through their bloody experiences. In both past and present lives, Chao Leixiao detests licking dogs. What's wrong with being a licking dog? As the eldest young master of the Chao family, with a villainous system, Chao Leixiao still needs to be a licking dog. Licking a dog means dying. You shrew, are you sick? What kind of onion are you? It's your turn to criticize your father. Chow Lei Xiao has no intention of getting used to this shrew. Make yourself unhappy, be careful not to make your whole family unhappy. Hong Yakin is not her own dish. If I offend myself, even if you are the female lead, I will still chop you. Hong's group, within the CEO's office. Hong Yakin held her phone with a surprised expression on her face, but she had not yet recovered. Did you hear me wrong? Chow Lei Xiao, this useless licking dog, dares to speak to himself like this. I haven't seen you for a few days, and the other party not only scolded me as a shrew, but even in their words, they even wanted to be their own father. Hong Yakin's lungs were about to explode with anger, but she didn't attack at the first moment. She is different from other women and understands one truth. Everything that the Hong family has today is thanks to Chow Lei Xiao. If this licking dog were to drive them crazy, the other person's personality would change greatly. With the choice of not getting 6 destructions, the Hong family would be in dire straits. Chow Lei Xiao, I have something important to talk to you about. Hong Yakin tried to calm her mood and remain calm. If you have something to say, just say it and fart. I'm calling you this time to borrow 5 billion yuan from you. In Hong Yakin's voice, there was a hint of sweetness intentionally added. During this period, our Hong group has been in the limelight, and we are ready to make further efforts. We need to seize at least 1/3 of the jewelry market in Donghai City, as there is a shortage of funds. She believed that Chow Lei Xiao would not refuse his kindness. After the death of Chow's father and mother, a large portion of the Chow family's billions of assets will fall into the hands of Chow Lei Xiao. Not to mention borrowing 5 billion yuan from him, even if it's 50 billion yuan, the other party will scrape it up for themselves. The reason why Hong Yakin is so eager is because she is worried that after Chow Lei Xiao, the black sheep, ascends to power, the Chow family will be defeated by him. At that time, there will be no profit for oneself. Chapter 9. Selling you to Africa to repay debts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Borrow 5 billion. Chow Lei's lips curved into a faint smile. It seems that this group of people all think that his Chow family runs a printing factory, or maybe they all like to play Liu Bei and borrow Jingzhou. The previous time, a lion from Chu Fan opened his mouth and borrowed 50 billion yuan from the Chow family. Immediately after, Hong Yakin emerged and borrowed 5 billion from herself. Don't say you don't have 5 billion yuan of funds, even if you do, at most you can borrow 5 billion yuan of cryptocurrency from her. You can even do good deeds and send someone to burn it for her free. Chow Lei Xiao frowned and a plot came to his mind. Hong Yakin is a very ambitious person who is determined to make the Hong family bigger and stronger. For this reason, she is willing to mobilize a large amount of funds and forcefully seize market share in the East China Sea jewelry market. Unfortunately, the Hong family was originally a mediocre third-rate family that relied on Chow Lei Xiao to make a living. Hong Yakin's eagerness for quick success and instant benefits was targeted by a group of jewelry tycoons. These people's joint layout directly cut off Hong Yakin's funding chain, causing it to fall into a state of disintegration. Of course, all of this is to allow Chu Fan to shine on the stage, pretend to be aggressive, and lay the groundwork for attacking Hong Yakin. After receiving the Chow family from Chow Mengyue, Chu Fan turned around and used the Chow family's funds to successfully help Hong Yakin and solve the problem. After resolving the crisis, Chu Fan easily gained the heart of a beauty and successfully brought Hong Yakin into the harem. Hello everyone is happy to see this matter come to fruition. Only the poor Chow Lei Xiao and the Chow family became the sacrificial victims of Chu Fan's pursuit of girls. Lousy's money is not brought by strong winds. If you want to borrow money, you must pay a corresponding price. As the saying goes, borrow as much as you want, and even burn it for free. As for the Chinese yuan, if you want to lure a white wolf with empty hands, you really think of yourself as a licking dog. I know your money is also hard-won, otherwise, I'll treat you to a meal. Hong Yakin still had a proud expression on her face, as if she was not borrowing money, but rather helping Chao Leixiao. If it had been in the past, Chao Leixiao had put in countless efforts to invite her to a meal with Hong Yakin. As for whether or not to give alms and accompany the useless licking dog to eat, it also depends on whether the useless licking dog has comforted and satisfied itself. This time, she took the initiative to invite Chao Lei to have dinner together, which can be said to have given Chao Lei enough face. Do you have to pay 5 billion for a meal yourself? Buffett's dinner in his past life was not as expensive, right? I am speechless. How could I have met a woman who is inferior? First, there was Chao Mengyue, a white-eyed wolf, and now another idiot named Hong Yakin has emerged. Saying you're sick, don't you believe it yet? Is your dinner set in gold and diamonds, worth 5 billion yuan per meal? Laozi can take care of thousands of college students with 5 billion yuan, and even 3,000 beautiful women in the harem are not a problem. Can you just say that you are worth 5 billion yuan? Even if you play 1,000,000 times, it's enough for me to play 5,000 times, it's enough to kill you. Chao Lei showed no mercy and scolded Hong Yakin thoroughly. These vulgar words that ruin people's values, those two peaches that are angry, flying up and down, almost burst out. What kind of harem beauty, 3,000, 100,000 times? In her life, Hong Yakin has never been so insulted. Unfortunately, with the help of Chao Leixiao, she could only suppress her anger and speak coldly, so what do you need to do to lend me the money? I said, 1,000,000 times, when you can accompany me 5,000 times, I can naturally lend you the money. Master Chao, am I serious to you? Don't joke with me anymore. I'm also serious. 1,000,000 times, it's unique in the entire East China Sea. This is a friendly price, but based on our friendship, after passing this village, there won't be that store anymore. You. Chao Leixiao, you bastard. Hong Yakin originally didn't want to get angry, but was repeatedly angered by Chao Leixiao and couldn't help but curse loudly. Hong Yakin, your Hong family's companies are all supported by my young master. How dare you talk to me like this? By the way, you lent me 30 million yuan last time. You are required to repay it within 3 days. Otherwise, I will sell you to Africa to repay the debt. Hanging up the phone, Chao Leixiao's face still showed a cheerful smile. For such a self-righteous woman, chopping it with one knife would be more convenient. Chao Leixiao had no intention of doing so. Whether it was to vent his anger for the original owner or to deal with this disgusting woman, Chao Leixiao wanted the other party to live more than to die. Away. Young master, do you have any instructions? Immediately cut off all cooperation with the Hong group. As Chao Leixiao spoke, he took out his clothes from his pocket and said, this is Hong Yakin borrowing 30 million yuan from this young master in the name of the Hong group. Prepare finance and legal affairs, go ahead and demand debt first. If the Hong group does not repay it, immediately sue them and seal off all funds of the Hong group. Breaking off the cooperation with the Hong group and sealing off the funds of the Hong group, how should Miss Hong Yakin explain it? Upon hearing these two commands from his young master, Awei was completely dumbfounded. What does our young master want to do? He not only cut off cooperation, but also cut off the funds of the Hong group. This is forcing the Hong group to a dead end. The young master's rude and cruel behavior is not afraid of offending Miss Hong Yakin. At that time, I don't know how much effort and money it will take to reconcile. Explain. I came out to mess around and used it to explain to that little girl. Hurry up and handle it. Within 3 days, I want to see the Hong group shut down in good luck, Chao Leixiao said with a deep voice on his face. Yes, yes. I'll go handle it now. Seeing his young master getting angry, Awei trembled and nodded as he retreated. Chapter 10. One pervert after another. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Charming East. This is the most famous hotel in the entire Donghai city, offering a wide range of delicacies and delicacies. Whether it's a pure college student, a sweet teacher, or a nurse or model who subdues temptation. As long as you have money, I will switch to a different profession for you in one day, ensuring that there are no duplicates for a month. This is the Jingjin Cave, also the most unforgettable place for the children of those aristocratic families in the East China Sea. Master Chow, you are a rare guest. It is an honor for us to have you here, the beautiful East. Chow Lei Xiao just entered the charming East with the blood knife monk and away. Yang Yu, the charming female manager of the East, greeted her with a smile on her face. The woman in front of her, who was only in her 30s or 40s, exuded a youthful allure throughout her full and mature body. That charming temperament, with an undisguised temptation in his eyes. Especially that pair of giants, they are all displayed as huge weapons. Under the leadership of Yang Yu, Chow Lei Xiao arrived at the largest private room in the charming East. Alcohol and beverages have been prepared long ago. Chow Gongzi is willing to come, but it is a great honor for me, Yang Yutian. Yang Yu took a cat step and poured a glass of wine for Chow Lei Xiao. She handed the glass to Chow Lei Xiao and said with a beautiful expression, I offer this glass of water and wine to Lord Chow. Her actions made Chow Lei Xiao show a faint smile. He didn't have much interest in this kind of dusty woman at first. Seeing the other person voluntarily knocking on the door, my interest was completely lost. Manager Yang, after drinking this glass of wine, go ahead and help yourself. Chow Lei drank it all at once and then said. In Yang Yu's eyes, there was a hint of disappointment. She didn't expect that Chow Lei Xiao would refuse her. What is Chow Lei Xiao? He is the eldest young master of the Chow family. After the death of Chow's father and mother, Chow Lei Xiao became the heir of the Chow family group, worth hundreds of billions. Combined with her young and handsome appearance, as well as her resilient cheeks, even this knowledgeable and charming Eastern manager was somewhat excited. I thought I could have a romantic encounter with the future leader of the Chow group, but I was rejected. Then I won't disturb young Master Chow. Yang Yu reluctantly left. Wait. Just as Yang Yu left the room, Chow Lei Xiao's faint voice came through. Yang Yu suddenly turned back, her beautiful eyes fixed on Chow Lei Xiao. Could it be difficult for Mr. Chow to change his mind and plan to spend a happy night with him? Find a few innocent people, preferably college students or female teachers, to accompany the bar. As he spoke, he turned his gaze to the blood knife monk and away and said, What type do you need? Young master, I. Away hesitated, but his gaze seemed vague as he placed it on Yang Yu. It is obvious that Yang Yu's pair of big peaks have already been targeted by him. Yang Yu was clearly aware of the unkindness in Away's gaze, with a puzzled expression on his face. If she were to have a good time with Chow Lei, she would naturally have a happy smile on her face. As for Away in front of me, it's clearly a runner. Fortunately, Chow Lei Xiao did not embarrass Yang Yu and ordered, prepare 2 big-chested ones for Away. He likes that kind of feel. Blood knife monk, what do you need? Amitabha Buddha, I am a monk and not good at women. The blood knife monk clasped his hands together and sang a Buddhist chant, looking like a virtuous monk. You really don't need it. After this village, there won't be this shop. Well, said the blood knife monk with a puzzled expression. If the young master insists on choosing with me, let's bring some pure and weak ones to the monk. The monk likes to see them trembling and powerless. Chow Lei laughed at night. This is the blood knife monk, I understand. As a ruthless villain, Blood Blade monk is not a virtuous monk, but rather a wicked and obscene monk. There is no reason not to have a beautiful woman who delivers to your door. Manager Yang, you go and prepare. Okay, please wait a moment, young Master Chow. I'll go prepare now. Yang Yu pleaded guilty, and a chill had already formed on her back. These people are becoming more and more abnormal one by one. She is really worried that the charming girl from the East will not be played to death by these few people. Mind him. Anyway, Chow Lei Xiao has plenty of money, even if it means losing someone's life, he can handle it. Before long, Yang Yu brought several waiters and more than 10 beautiful women. At the signal of Yang Yu, 2 women with protruding front and protruding back collided left and right, leaning against Wei's body. Chao Lei couldn't help but shake his head. That protruding mountain peak, compared to Yang Yu, is unparalleled. This is said to be something that cannot be held with one hand. Chao Leixiao was somewhat skeptical whether these 2 people had received hormone therapy. Fortunately, Wei liked this, and Chao Leixiao also let him go. The blood knife monk selected for seemingly weak and deceitful women, and immediately revealed his ferocious fangs, killing them up and down. Chao Gongzi, should we choose 2 to serve you? Yang Yu pointed to the remaining 7 women and said. Chao Leixiao glanced casually and suddenly showed little interest. These 7 people have good figures and looks, and it can be seen that Yang Yu has also been carefully selected. Unfortunately, they are 7 broken cars that have been driven by people. Chao Leixiao is a man with a cleanliness fetish and never drives a used car, even those female leads are the same. Those who have been driven by others are not allowed. If this old car leaks oil or malfunctions, it will be in big trouble. He came to Charm East not purely for driving. Manager Yang, at least I am also the eldest young master of the Chao family. Do you want me to drive a used car? Upon hearing this, Yang Yu was startled and aroused. No wonder Chao Gongzi didn't even look up to him just now. It turned out that he despised himself. She was immediately frightened and turned pale, sweating profusely. She hesitated and said, Chao Gongzi, I'm sorry, it's just me. There's currently no new stock available. The magnificent Charm of the East, the largest entertainment venue in the East China Sea, can't even find a new car. It seems that Manager Yang wants Charming East to shut down for rectification. Chao Leixiao furrowed his brow, deliberately revealing a look of anger.